Hey guys, it's Wednesday, July 21st, 2021. My name is Benjamin McCon, and it's time for the daily news. Guys, as always, in the description below, 3 articles today. We're going to do something a little special, and we're going to look at the same story, but coming from a left wing source, coming from a middle, I call fuselage source, and a same story coming from a right wing source. So let's get into it. And let's start with the middle source today, guys. Click in the description to come read along with me. This is Mediaite.com. Quote, unprecedented, end quote. Pelosi rejects Jim Jordan, Jim Banks from the January 6th committee. Guys, Nancy Pelosi, as we know, is the Speaker of the House for Congress. And they are doing a investigative committee on the January 6th protest in D.C. Excuse me. So Kevin McCarthy appointed Republicans. He's a minority leader. Jim Jordan, Jim Banks, Kelly Armstrong, Rodney Davis, and Troy Nehls. Nancy Pelosi once said that she's going to deny Jim Jordan and Jim Banks because they had voted in favor of Trump multiple times, voted against impeachment and whatnot. And she's saying, oh, this violent event was an attack, is a domestic attack, and was the worst assault on the Capitol since War of 1812. That is all nonsense, guys. On January 6th, that was a peaceful protest. There were people deliberately led by Antifa, let into the Capitol building by the police, to which then a police officer shot an innocent woman, Ashley Babbitt. That's what really happened. Guys, I don't know if you remember, but the time BLM assaulted the White House and Trump had to be helicoptered away. They had to helicopter the president, but they're calling this January 6th thing violent when really it was just a bunch of pissed off people showed up. No guns found, no fights, no murders, but the cops did murder a woman. Moving on from that fact. Guys, so let's move on to our right-wing article. This is Newsmax, and it's Pelosi won't let GOP reps Jordan, Banks join January 6th panel. She said, with respect for the integrity of this investigation, with an insistence on the truth, with concern about statements made by and actions of these members, Pelosi said in a statement, I must reject the recommendations of Representative Banks and Jordan to the Select Committee. The unprecedented nature of January 6th demands this unprecedented decision. But McCarthy fired back, pulling all 5 of his picks from the consideration and branding Pelosi's move, quote, an egregious abuse of power that will irreparably damage the institution of Congress. So he's pulled all the members. He said that Kevin McCarthy went on to say, denying the voices of members who've served in military and law enforcement as well as leaders of standing committees has made it undeniable that this panel has lost all legitimacy and credibility, showing the speaker is more interested in playing politics than seeking the truth. You know, these are Trump supporters in Congress. And I have to agree with Speaker Minority Leader McCarthy on this one, that Nancy Pelosi does abuse her power regularly, time again and again, and she's really old, and she shouldn't be in Congress. Guys, if you can't tell the difference between a Snapchat and a Tinder match, like these old boomer congressmen can't, you shouldn't be leading a country fueled by the internet. Is that too much to say? I don't think so. Guys, we're going to move on to see what our left-wing source has to say about this. Left-wing source is Huffington Post. It says Nancy Pelosi rejects 2 GOP picks for the January 6th committee. House Republican leader McCarthy responded by saying he's pulling all 5 picks. So, this article goes on to say the January 6th insurrection and that there have been false statements and they've made false statements and taken concerning actions. So Nancy Pelosi is calling these Republicans liars. She's essentially calling them sneaks, according to the leftist article. Once again, the quote that's been in all the articles. Here's the thing with this article mentions is that Nancy Pelosi said she's willing to have Representative Liz Cheney, who is a vocal critic of Donald Trump, and this article also makes sure to mention that there have been repeated lies about voter fraud. So what do we see? Out of the middle source article, we pretty much see the facts reported, right? Out of the right source article, we see the Republican side of things. And out of the left-wing article, we see the more Democrat side of things. Now, I think we can come to a rational conclusion in all of this, that most obviously none of these people are fit for this job, right? They're playing dirty kickball in National Congress. They're playing angry high school sophomores kickball game in Congress. And what you have is these left-wing sources saying that voter fraud is a lie, which everyone knows that voter fraud takes place. You can't deny that. It's been going on for decades. And there's no logical reason why not to audit every single vote that's ever happened. You can't say why you shouldn't do that. It's not saying you don't believe in the voting system. It's saying that you don't believe in the systems used to vote. And that's different. I want to take a final note on the right-wing article. And that's that it actually provided what Kevin McCarthy said. The other articles didn't say what Kevin McCarthy said, right? So you can't you have to look at different sources, guys, to see what everyone else is saying. You can't just say those are all fake news. You can't just say those are all conspiracy theories. You can't say like that's bullshit. You have to look at everything so you can see everything and think about it. Guys, if you only looked at the left and right-wing sources, you would only know what Nancy Pelosi said. You'd have only known what she did and what Kevin McCarthy did. But you would not have known what Kevin McCarthy said. That's why it's important to look at the right-wing source. Guys, thanks for tuning in today. Check out those articles and compare them yourself. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thanks.